definitely. Like, modern leagues are kind of like all like Yawgmoth, Yawgmoth Rhino scam, Yawgmoth Rhino scam, because everybody's prepping for their RCs. And there's just like only so much like brewing and like trying to like metagame for this environment that you can do. You know what I mean? Because there's just like so, the list of decks that's like good against all of those is kind of small. I want to play around with Stifle a little bit, and Timeless has just been like a more open format to try to innovate in. Modern just kind of sucks right now. I think it's the worst it's been since Pre-Image 2. Yeah, I don't know. I have also had the feeling that I'm having less fun in Modern lately. We'll see like how the news cycle comes out. MH3 also comes out later this year, you know. Ooh, Soul's the Lost. It's juicy. Six of Timeless is just ladder. Yeah, I know. That's the biggest thing. I wish there's like leagues or tournaments. But Timeless is also fun, and the decks you play against tend to be good too. So we'll see. Should I say Modern was better with Fury? Maybe better with Bean. I mean, they just should have banned Grief instead of. They should have banned Grief instead of Fury. This was kind of the big thing, I think. Could play out second Chalice on one. This is good against like random shit like Kolagon's Command, and it also makes Imri 1 mana if I can draw Imri. So do that. The Modern was not great before the bans. Yeah, I don't know. Modern always has problems. For me, at least, I've had like a harder time brewing this season than I kind of ever have. But it's nice we have Timeless, nice we have Pioneer. I've been thinking about building Cascade Beans and Legacy also. I think that could be a fun little adventure. I don't mind all the Evokers go. You know, a lot of people say this. They don't mind. Like, I think if you asked, like, if you did a poll on Modern players, like, what are, like, the top 5 cards you want banned in the format? Like, a lot of people would say Solitude as, like, easy their top 5. But that card barely sees any play in Modern at the moment. It is, like, an incredibly uncommon card to face. Cool deck opponent. You were screaming for Grief and Beans prior to Big Shakeup. Yeah, I know. Yes, I was definitely pro banning Grief. Banning Solitude was a mistake. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's like I feel like Solitude is really appropriate power level. Let's bring in a Spyglass, like maybe just one against Bombardment. But you know, like, but again, Solitude is like sees play in 4-color control and blue-white control, which make up like probably like 4% or less of the metagame. It is like very like you can play like 2 leagues really commonly and like just not play against a single Solitude deck. It's banning it seems like just like this. You just hate the card, and you can hate the card. That's okay. But I don't think it's like a super reasonable ban. I think when I bring in the extra 4-drop, I trim a Kitten. Although I don't know, Kitten combo seems maybe I want to be more in on the cat combo in this matchup because their deck's kind of slow. Yeah, we have the emotional support Supreme Verdict. Not married to it. A 5? My hands have been kind of bad, huh? I think it's good to keep one of the 2 lands here so that a top decked Imri is a bit better. So I can keep, or sorry, one of the 2 baubles here. Legacy Cascade Beans is tough with how efficient the rest of the format is. Yeah, I believe it. I haven't really looked too much into it, but I just kind of envision this Force of Will, Elvish Spirit Guide, Cascade Beans deck that is just beautiful. Like, I might main that Commandeer too. But again, I just haven't done too much. Buster Roll, play Cascade Beans with Rhinos. So it could be pretty strong if you cut the Rhinos part. Yeah, like, I mean, this is also like something we kind of determined in Modern, that cascading into Beans was better than cascading into Rhinos. I feel like this is Also true in Legacy, probably, in the Force of Will, Solitude, Binding, Commandeer format. I don't know, maybe less so, Commandeer. But I'm down to give it a go. Try to figure it out over the weekend. I think WotC needs to stop printing the most powerful effects on the creatures and planeswalkers. Planeswalkers suck. Planeswalkers are just not good in Modern. Instant Sorcerer is getting progressively less powerful. I also like strongly disagree with this too. Like Snapcaster is like playable in Modern right now. Like Snapcaster is like a legit good Modern card. And like the list of Planeswalkers that are playable in Modern, assuming that's what we're talking about, is very small. It's like Teferi, which doesn't see much play. Ren and 6 doesn't see a lot of play at the moment. Teferi, those don't see a lot of play. Karn doesn't see a lot of play. But that's kind of the end of the list of cards you even want to consider. It's just Ren, Teferi, Karn. Ren, Teferi, Karn. Occasionally a sideboard Narset, but it's not super good. Is there another one that's playable? Grist, of course. I always forget Grist. Grist is like the best one, and I always forget it. Yeah, I wouldn't consider Narset to be up there. Yeah, it's like literally there are 4 playable Planeswalkers in Modern. I don't know. Yeah, Grist is also a creature in conversations about good Planeswalkers in all zones. Displacer combos with Teferi and a 0-mana artifact. So that's what I'm going to do here, is play Kitten and try to Teferi into either another, ideally another 0-mana artifact, but even just like a Binding or Chalice to play next turn. What happened to Jace? They printed the One Ring and Memory Deluge. But like Ren and 6 and Teferi are also like at an all-time low. Could block this pretty freely, right? I'm okay if they sack their Souls to the Lost. It's pretty bad if they mill Bloodghast and then have a land drop that they're sandbagging. Will Fridays always be timeless content? No, I just am playing it right now. I have no designated timeless days. I have no designated modern days. I just play what I want when I want. So we flicker the Leyline Binding. We win, right? We flicker the Leyline Binding. Target the Goblin Bombardment. Great draw. Then we get to go bounce this, draw a card, play the Bauble, flicker Teferi, and we get to do this, draw our deck. Eventually we'll find Imri plus Mox Amber plus Aetherflux Reservoir. Could let them sack both creatures to kill Kitten. Why would I do that? Oh, they could have. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, would they do that, though? We're kind of, like, still really ahead if they do that. Sure, right? Maybe I fucked up there. So I guess I need to wait on the Imri until I draw the Aetherflux Reservoir, too. Even if, I can play the Imri, I need to not mill it over. They knew about Bauble? Right. Okay, they should have then. Could you do a Thorquin as Aetherflux Reservoir? I think Aetherflux is better because it's less clicks. It's also like castable off Imri, so you get a little bit of value there. And the life gain is like, I think, a bit more relevant than like a 2-drop that scries, but also like flickering the Oracle with Kitten can be good. So, I think the Aetherflux is mostly relevant because in these spots, like, you don't get arena'd as often. I also need to do the trick of, like, past to second main phase. At some point, I need to learn when it's appropriate to do that. Okay, they just concede. People have been conceding, too. Yeah, I like this idea of being more in on the Kittens. Do you want second Spyglass? I'm gonna bring in a second Spyglass. I kind of want to cut like an Oko, just be like a little bit lower curve. But even with the extra Shredder, Shredder seems like it blocks pretty well. It's bad against Bowmaster though. German Emery too. Does combo run the risk of roping out? In theory, yes, but also, it hasn't been close for me. Like I haven't come close to timing out, I think, and someone did the math, and I think I have an average of 5 seconds to perform the Teferi Bobble loop, which seems like I usually do it in like I think 3 or 4 seconds if I had to guess. Do a timer, but yeah, it's been fine so far. Let's hold up Binding and then let's try to slam Oko next turn. They probably have a Bowmasters. Can deck before you flex, but it's probably very fringe. Yeah, but it's also you should have like a bunch of 0 drops in your hand to play most of the time. Get basic forest here. Yeah, I think Reservoir is overall an upgrade, but it's it's mostly kind of fringe and. So we were also considering Nexus of Fate, which I think is probably too much of a pain. Okay, so this goes down to 5, and they have 3 power. Dude, Oko just has so much. They don't even bother targeting the Oko. I guess that makes sense. So if they don't attack the Oko, I probably will swap the Bowmaster so I can go like Shredder, Spyglass next turn. If I draw a 0-mana artifact, we can also go like Kitten, activate Oko, Kitten, flicker Oko, activate it again. It's just straight aggroing me here. They have 4 cards in their hand. Plays the Souls of the Lost as a... They discard a Swamp. 5/6. Goblin Bombardment. Okay, so now if I do the swap, they're just gonna... So I guess I Spyglass into Shredder. See how they respond to this. Okay. Name Goblin Bombardment. Pass the Spelling Bee. Can't steal the Souls of the Lost. I'm at 9. Maybe it's best to still steal. Because I'm gonna play URO next turn probably. I want to be able to have that be a good play. I can chump block the Souls of the Shredder if they send both at me, and we haven't seen like a single like spot removal spell from them. But even if they have it, we're not just dead. I have 2 cards in their hand. Arborist of the 7 months, Bruce of the 23. Hope y'all are doing well. Attack with just the Souls, which is probably incorrect. Goodbye, sweet Shredder. I hardly knew ye. Lure us into hands. We do have a Bobble. Ooh. Okay, I don't quite have enough mana to... I guess what I should probably do is go Elk the Souls, and then Elk my Mox Amber. We've seen bolts? I don't remember seeing bolts, but... I believe it. Okay. Cool. That was a fun match. Dude, I don't know, I'm just having a lot of fun in Timeless right now. It's hard to be, like... buying all these new decks, and it's a chance that we like find the edges of the format, but we're still finding like a lot of cool stuff. Like this Kitten combo deck feels really unique and powerful and special, so I'm happy to be working on it. Yeah, I usually lose a couple hundred viewers when I switch to Timeless, but I like the modern one probably a bit more. Maybe I'll play the Elves in Challenge tomorrow. Trying to work on a version of Boris Blood in time was found without Stoneforge, but awkward. Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to replay that one in Modern too, actually. Okay, top card Kitten. Let's keep that. I don't want to shuffle. I want to shuffle after this resolve so they can't Bowmaster me. So I crack the fetch, they can Shaman for Bowmasters. Probably lose to Stifle this game, so now that they... I guess they can still Stifle, but I'll just sec now. Anyways. And then... I think it's kind of the same to get either one here. This gives me a second white mana. I already have double green, so like this one, I guess. It's also a bit better if I draw like another fetch, can like 1 mana binding next turn. They have a strain in the art. Oh, I thought I missed that they fetched. Oops, never mind. Island Cycle. Let's save this Bauble to try to combo on turn 3, I think. I'm gonna upkeep Binding. They could have Spell Pierce here. Is there a 4-color version that combos with Minskin to make infinite? Well, how do you loop with Minskin? Because like, you could probably trigger Minskin several times, but the Teferi loop works because you just draw your card and you bounce a 0-mana artifact that lets you Kitten again or trigger Kitten again. Obviously, if this wins, we are super duper happy. Or sorry, if this resolves, we're super duper happy. I think there's a good chance they have a Leyline Binding here. I also, like, there's not much I really care about bouncing, because if we untap with Teferi, we just win. We would even already have the Aetherflex. Bruise in the work for Vesperlark combo. How did you know? I've been cooking Vesperlark combo for a long time. What's the draw of Timeless? You just get... There's a lot of sweet cards, like URO, Mystic Sanctuary, that you used to get to play with a lot. Now you don't really get to play with them anymore. But they're not, like, very good, like, cards for Modern anymore. Like, they're just, like, a bit too unbalanced. But in Timeless, they can kind of coexist, and when paired together, they feel a lot more reasonable. At least to me, that's the draw. Alright, gonna wait on this Binding. Thomas Bloom. Interesting. So if this resolves, we win. Stifle. Okay, so now we'll crack the Bauble. Okay, good to know about that counterspell. Oh. Okay, so before they're drawing the counterspell, let's play this. I'll pick up the Binding if this resolves. Nice. I'm going to fetch my other Triumph so I don't draw it off the Teferi. This could have also bounced their Binding. That's probably not right, actually. Okay, so I guess I don't actually have a 0-mana artifact anymore, though, for the Kitten. So you play URO? I guess you play URO. Hit a land we can escape. Oh, not that except for not that land. Yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and cast the Kitten. Maybe he gets swords, but if they're swords like this, they're not swordsing URO, and I'm just like so ahead on mana and stuff. I just want to get my board a little bit ahead here. You know what I mean? Okay, so how many lands? 24. I feel like I would play the 4th Red and 6 for sure in this deck. Like, it would be even acceptable to cut a land for the 4th Ren and 6. I also don't understand why we have 2 plains, 2 island, 2 forest in this deck. In our Ren and 6 deck. It just seems like I would not play 2 of each any of these, just one of them. I think I've always felt like Eldarmer's Call was also better than Finale would be. I'm kind of confused on that note as well. Ooh, okay, so we got Chalice in 1. I think I hold up the binding. I don't think I'm binding this Shaman right now. What else? I don't know. Tamashii is always like a very confusing deck to me too, where it's like it's very slow and it's very disruptible, and it like wins through this disruption because it's just like it's a Teferi Omnath Ren and 6 deck is kind of like my perception of it always, is that it just is able to outgrind this interaction. But this build seems to be a much worse at doing that. You have like this random Seal of Removal, you have Finale of Devastation, which is an awful card in this kind of deck. You have 3 Cauldrons, and you have basically nothing to like put the Cauldron abilities onto, like just like a 3 Dividal Halflings. Like, this does not seem like a good Cauldron list. You only have 3 Lotus Blooms, which is really weird to me. Yeah, it feels like you should just not have Cauldron in this deck. I don't know. Like, yeah, I think like the appeal to this deck is like you're a 4-color Omnath deck, you know, sometimes with Solitudes and stuff. You like just go way over the top, but this list is just not doing that. The Chalice deck, Croaky's playing, like Shepherd playing one side. We did that too in just Elves. What was Croaky's list? We were playing. I guess we can do the combo with Chalice, although we can't bounce it this turn. I guess we can if we flicker the Teferi. Okay, so I guess we go cast Leyline Binding, flicker the Teferi. Bounce the Chalice. Chalice on 0, do the combo. It's an extra click though, because we have to confirm X on 0. So I don't know. I also don't even think the normal version of Tamashii is good for what it's worth. Like, it's not a deck I would recommend that you play, so I don't think I can tell you what I don't like about that list, but I can't tell you exactly how I build it because I don't have those ideas. I've kind of like tried to figure out like a recommission build for a while, a build that's more on Agatha's Soul Cauldron. That, you know, Kylo's Reconstruction is a card that always interests me because it hits Lotus Bloom and digs really deep for your combo. But, you know, I never really felt like I had a good list for that. Yeah, we're going to need to find a Mox Amber at some point. When we do, assuming we have Mox Ambers left, right? Although maybe, I may also just have my land I can play for turn. Do I have a fetchable? Oh, okay. This is a bit easier. Just cast it. Okay, so we're up against Bant URO Pile. It's pretty similar to what I was playing at the Honorog's event last week. And Cosmic Rebirth and New White Unearth. Yeah, it's just like you have to go like you have to play like Imri with those cards. You have to be like way more artifact focused. Probably want to play Disputes. What's bad? Nothing's really bad either. I want to play 4 Kittens. Maybe I cut the Chalices. Play 1 Chalice. They do have like But yeah, if they're playing my list, they have like 16 1-drops though. They have Binding and they have Oko. Yeah, I don't know if we have room for Disputes. Disputes feel kind of good on the draw though. Maybe Oko's kind of mid. Try this. I don't know. It's the first time I've ever thought Oko might be mid. 4 Oko, 4 Teferi, 4 URO. What a format. I have 3 URO, okay. Because you're milling them over with Imris. I don't think you need the 4th one. Yeah, it is quite the format. Yeah, in a combo deck too. But worried about Stifle. Binding seems okay to keep here. Let's keep it Binding. In fair, deck Silco's color type is to use to play 4. I've been playing 4, yeah. I think you could play. Some people have played like 2 or 3 and then play, but they're all basically the thing is like if you're playing less than 4 Oko in your main deck, you're just playing worse cards because there's like just no cards are worse than Oko, kind of. You know, does it make sense? Yeah, you play 4 Okos because you can't play 5. They may be kind of underwhelming in this matchup, and maybe not also, but like, yeah, you play 4 Okos because you can't play 5. Could not have said it better myself. Like I've yet to see a this is not good against me. I just bounce this when I do the combo. The fact that Teferi Time Raveler is like one of your combo pieces in this deck is kind of insane. See, I'm out to 27 months. Let's fucking go, dude. Yeah, I've just yet to see a I've yet to see a list that has like 2 or 3 Oko. There's not like immediately a card I would cut for some more Okos. So next we're gonna go to Teferi with Dispute up and just a 0-mana artifact away from comboing. Have you stifled on a fetch yet? I played like 50 plus games, never happened. Yeah, I've stifled a lot of fetch lands. I don't have stifled in this deck, but it does seem like opponents playing like exactly my list or like very close to what we played in the tournament last weekend. Just sideboard Deafening Silence, these Triomes, Lord Revealed, Stifle. And that list did get published too, so maybe that's what they're doing. We do this, I guess. Main phase 1, because if they counter and I dispute back, I get a connive. Do you want to play Get Fountain? I guess I get Fountain. What the fuck? Oh, sorry, sorry, I can't because of the Deafening Silence. That's what the fuck. Okay, sorry gamers. I retract my what the fuck. Get Deafening Silenced. We figured out what the fuck. My opponent is also trying to do the same thing. It's so funny. And then they go, what the fuck? the exact same thing just happened to them. That's so funny. It's so funny. Cool, let's mill an URO. Keep a Teferi, I guess. URO. So unlucky. You can play Omnath and Timeless, for sure. So they put Lore and Revealed on top. So notably, I can't Bobble and Teferi. Oh, I can if I just bounce the thing. I guess I want to play around Dispute, which is maybe not in their deck, but because it wasn't in my build. But I think, ooh, I mean, not very likely to not have this Narset in my hand when my opponent just put Lore and Revealed on top. Oh, I get to connive URO away? This deck is really crazy, I think. This is like a combo deck that gets to play Chalice and is also just an URO pile. Like, the fact that we're just outgrinding the opposing Uro pile is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's so funny to like hate, like, you're not supposed to bring in these kind of cards against this deck too, because like my combo just bounces it for free. We get to mill over the Uros. I just love this list. Reveal didn't do anything into our Narset. This is what I was talking about. That's why I was excited about the Narset. Cool. 2-0 on the day. Big time with the paper form. Exclamation point deck, exclamation point. Good? Question mark. First time for everything. This deck is so close to be no banless modern. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this a lot. Timeless is closest to no banless modern, I think. It's obviously not that format, but like the format like does really resolve mostly around no banless modern cards. I think I'll just get Breeding Pool, play Ledger Shredder here. GG Cess. Were you just playing my list, or were you playing any changes? Just playing your deck from 1K. How are you liking it? Okay. So we can connive the Uro into the yard, potentially. Yeah, you can play Jarso, but it would be kind of weird to be like, we're allowing some timeless cards and not all of them. You know what I mean? Also looks pretty similar to the Bant list. It's kind of fun. Impacting this format too, huh? I kind of want to Elk the Amber here. I know, like, losing the Amber is kind of tough because it's my 4th mana. I can also blink it with Kitten if I need it later, though. And I want to be able to put more pressure against a Leyline binding, so if my opponent has binding for Oko, we have like 5 power that they're having to attack or be attacked by. Would you play Leyline against Uro? Leyline of the Void against just Uro? Like against my deck, I'm a Leyline binding to Fairy deck. I'm pretty good against Leyline of the Void. Against their deck, they can just stifle the Uro sacrifice trigger. Played your channel deck some other down, give you tough praise. I did not see that. I'm familiar with Bosch though, like Bosch. For sure. How are they doing on this Uro escape? They are ready to escape Uro. We can Elk the Uro. They get a tap land instead, so they can Leyline binding my Oko. Played around that as best we could. Interesting. What happens if we play another Mox Amber? I guess it's still Legend rules, this one. They have a Stifle also. Yeah, now I get to start saying I built their deck in Timeless too. Okay, new blue enchantment. When this enters the battlefield, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size. Beginning of combat on your turn. If you draw one or more cards on your turn. More than one card this turn. Put X1 counters on target creature. X the number of cards you draw minus 1. So I'm going to stifle my Elk ability here. But then we get to go. Hopefully, if we get to go chump block into like Displacer, activate Oko Kitten, Mox Amber Flicker Oko, it could be okay. Now let's just go to game 2. The card is yellow instead of blue. Oh, yeah, was not aware of that. It's pretty cool. So on the play, I might play Ashiok. I don't know. It's just like we have so. It's just so hard to find cuts of this matchup. Like I cut all of my Okos for disputes last time, and I kind of like that because I brought in like other top end cards. I feel like Oko is kind of my worst one. We should have one copy. Holy shit. Dude, this card just cast Splendid Reclamation. And sets it up. You can play 4 of these, 4 Archaeologists. That's a mono card. Mono's gonna. There's a lot of potential mono cards in the new set. We're gonna be a little bit more, hopefully, re-injuvenated for Modern when the new set comes out. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. Let's put back the Kitten, I guess. Could put back Leyline. No, I need Leyline for Oko probably. Then I'll use the Bauble as a opt here. Is Thought Scour too strong for Timeless? I thought Scour would be fine. Yeah, gonna be a good PowerPoint. When does the new set come out? What's the release date? Does anybody know? I can play Imri next turn if I draw another Bauble, I guess. Six-mana Reclamation. Well, the fact that it also sets up itself as a 2-mana 1/3 in the Ragavan Bowmaster format. And, I mean, the big problem, of course, is probably that Splendid Reclamation is not that good a card, huh? So if they're playing my list, they shouldn't have a Spell Pierce. Yeah, and this stops Sword, Stifle, Brainstorm, Deathred Shaman's like 16 cards in their deck. The problem is they also have like Binding and Oko for it. Is DRC a Modern mainstay? Should I buy this stuff? DRC a Modern mainstay. Dragon Ranger's Chandler is a Modern staple, for sure. One of the best cards in the format. I kind of like this card. I don't know. Probably not going to end up playing it very often. Should have shuffled since I didn't know. URO. Oh, Stifle? Stifle the Chalice? Yes. Yes! I guess Brainstorming first. I will not hit them with the nice. Just quietly be happy. Super Struck and Modern. Start going to come up with something I like for Denver, more or less default to Recto, so I can't find a competitive Blue-Red Wizards list. Yeah, I think the Jeskai Wizards list has like been the best one, and it's okay, but it's also like you're playing a control deck and a very proactive format, and it's just kind of difficult to. I mean, I would like to play the Jeskai Wizards list in Denver because it's open deck list. I actually like that a lot. They target the Emery here, so we can go end of turn. We also have Beseiju. Okay, maybe against this opponent, maybe against this opponent, I will end up playing more more chalices. Will they alch my chalice? Will they make a food first? Yeah, they might just be filling the yard for URO. Kind of hard to say for sure, Z's, of course. They also just played Rogren Triumph, so if they have another binding, they can use it. I'm going to use my Beseiju on their binding. Would love to mill URO. Also, they have swords, it's unlocked. They do get an untapped land, so they probably have a... Maybe it's Stifle, I guess. Oh, we have Teferi in play. Maybe they just didn't realize that Teferi. A lot of options, or a lot of possibilities, I guess. I think if I see like their top card is Oko, I might not binding their Oko here. Might binding end of turn. Well, I guess that's what I said I'd do. So attack them. Hoping for no binding. They've already played, I guess, just one. Don't usually like to counter the front half of URO. So that can get up. I guess it's good they don't have the swords to grab. I think it's worth countering. Emery's worth, you know, a card every turn. Back up to Fairy, also interesting. Alright, so I'm probably going to start off and... Oh, you know what? I need to Shredder first. Get my Connive. Tough spot. Kind of want to bounce my Chalice and replay it this turn, but I'm a mana short of like Mox Amber and also playing like another Teferi. I guess I'll just discard the Fountain. See what our top card is. Aetherflux Reservoir. Weird one, of course, always. Yeah, I'm going to attack them. Play Mox Amber, make a... I guess, you know, didn't need to make it right now, but I'm going to pick up my Chalice. Something from Sanctuarying back their swords here. Then Chalice on 1. With binding available. They should... They'll probably... They might sack into turn this fetch land. Maybe they get Lorien revealed. I'm going to cast this binding now before they counterspell up. Level with a Twitch Prime. Thank you. Welcome back. Why does Rhinos play one Tidebinder and one Flame on the side? I mean, I don't know how stock that is, but I would play 4 Tidebinder in the main if I was playing Rhinos. And Tidebinder's a good card in the sideboard because it's good in almost every single matchup, so you get to bring it in a lot. But because it's good in almost every single matchup, I just main deck 4. So if they have another land in their hand, they can URO into Oko here. Chalked Outline for Murder seems like the card kind of test with a package. I don't think I've seen that one. I'd like to, especially if it's a food card, I guess. My opponent just stole this Chalice, which could not have possibly been the correct line. What the fuck? I think of Combo Breach's position. I don't know. I don't know. Combo Breach's it's one of these decks I haven't played a ton of, and Yeah, I just don't know, I guess. It's maybe good. Okay, so here we get to go bounce our Mox Amber, and then we can escape URO. This deck feels a lot like a Combo Breach in Modern. So bobble myself. Keep Dispute on top. I should have held Fountain. I guess I'll check if I milled it. Looks like I did not mill it. Okay, so I'll draw this, and then in response to... Oh, okay, well I didn't draw it. Should have held control, I guess. Okay, chalk outline. Okay, not... Weird. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, make a 2/2 creature token to investigate. I mean, this card's 4 fucking mana. It's much worse than what's it called? Okay, resolves. I guess they're gonna go swords plus URO probably. I think I exiled it to cast URO. Oh no, I did. So I shouldn't actually have a blue source here. Yeah. So I guess I should have binding the Oko already. Just binding URO at this point. Going to game 3. Pundler's Prize. It can bounce the hand to tutor Aether Flux. Doesn't sound like something like that. That exact effect doesn't sound like something I'm very interested in. What is the text on the card? Like, we don't need to tutor Aether Flux. We just draw our entire library and make infinite mana. Oh, yeah, I don't know. This doesn't sound like something we'd be that interested in. Allied his key with Olgi's Cup of Combo. Yeah, it's I don't know. Seems like he'd never actually play it. It's like if it was, you know, not 4 mana, if it was like 2 mana, could be really good. Maybe 3 mana is the right cost. 4 seems like too much. Crazy that Oko comes out. Yeah, it is weird. I agree. I mostly have cut it in this matchup for mana curve considerations because I boarded in Narset, which is better than Oko in this matchup. I think I like this idea of boarding in the 4th Displacer Kitten, and I'm not 100% sure because they have Stifle for sure if they're not cracking this fetch. What do you do? They just definitely have Stifle. So maybe they will crack this fetch to allow me to crack my own fetch here. Okay, so I'm definitely fetching now, so I might as well just do this. Get Rogrin Triome. Bobble them now. Maybe I guess I'll bobble them after this resolves. And Cajole Dispute. Slam your Oko, please. But yeah, Oko, like I also like built their deck, and like Oko. Oh, I did not. Oh, yes, I did build their deck. Let's temple card for a second. And like they're a binding deck, and I feel like they're a bit better against Oko than most other builds are going to be. I don't know. Yeah, it's not the best reasoning. Dude, I can't believe we drew this dispute. I'd like to draw another land. 5 cards in their hand. You channel Paradox Engine deck anymore? I haven't, no. I kind of want to cut the rings from that deck was something I wanted to do. Also, like, Chromatic Ori was a card that was really overperforming. Don't know if you just want to, like, play 3 main one side or something, but something I was kind of thinking about doing. How's the graveyard looking like? Pretty full. Oh, they're doing the thing. I think I'm gonna bounce the URO here. So I think I kind of want to keep the extra Teferi. They did have that Stifle, or it seems like they had that Stifle at least. Hopefully they don't have another Stifle. We'll just, you know, probably lose if they have it. Another white mana. I guess I'll get another Breeding Pool. They're gonna Sanctuary, like something. Brainstorm, I guess. Wait, there's a Sanctuary Stifle. If they also have that Binding in their hand, otherwise they can't re-stifle their URO because we have Teferi in play. My opponent's kind of made a few mistakes like this, so they may just be playing into it. Oh, and I guess that's not quite the combo because we can't immediately bounce the Amber next turn. Oh, I'm also very surprised they're Island Cycling here. It's probably, like, I can't, like, really even imagine what their hand would be that they'd want to do that. I know. Oh, they just shuffled away the Stifle. Okay, I guess they realized their mistake. Yeah, okay, that's why you'd want to do it, I guess. Oh, and they have Ashiok here? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. They exile one of my UROs. And then, I mean, if they replay the URO, I just get to connive and then kill their Ashiok, so surely they're doing something that's not that line. They're casting Leyline Binding, I get to connive. I'll discard a second Displacer Kitten, maybe? Oh, we win. Nice. Cool. I love to top deck perfect. Mixed feelings beating my own deck twice in a row. They didn't, like, exile my Aether Flux, did they? Okay. Green opponents have been nice. It's kind of funny, twice in a row we've played against our Bant deck and we beat it twice in a row. Take it though. 3-0 on the day. Yeah, the fact that this is also a Chalice deck is so nice. I'm liking this list a lot.